I was doing uni, I was studying to be a doctor. I had a very severe depression and I was psychotic. But ever since then, maybe every 18 months to 2 years, even less sometimes, I've landed in hospital. You know, my wish would be that I could still be a doctor. But I got to a point where I thought I was dangerous. So that's a big loss for me. 3 years ago, I had an admission where I was, again, had a psychotic depressive illness, and when I got out of hospital I was a bit disorganised and having trouble with my memory, and what happened was that I lost the house that I was living in. Like, I was renting and I got kicked out and I had nowhere to go. I can't tell you how unsettling that was. Oh, it's one of the worst experiences I've ever had. It's hard to do it on your own, you know. I found it very difficult.
Well, Daniel was diagnosed with a genetic disorder when he was 5 years old, and he suffered medical, problems all of his life. But just after his 23rd birthday, he had his first psychotic episode, and he's been diagnosed with treatment-resistant schizophrenia. Daniel has lost all of his skills with his personal care, his life-living skills, and his driving confidence. Well, it was very difficult for me. I'm a single mum, and Daniel was in hospital for 10 months. I was working full-time, and I actually cut back to part-time 4 months into his hospital stay, because it was just couldn't cope, just so exhausted, because you're just so mentally drained.
It's interesting because I had a very severe illness at the end of last year. Because I became very depressed, my affairs were in a terrible state. So things like electricity hadn't been paid, this whole room was full of papers. You know, you're always fragile when you come out of hospital, but this time they did this kind of intensive support funded by the NDIS, which has made a huge difference in terms of my steadying myself, and getting things done. I've done things like a budget, because my budget was a little bit unrealistic before. We've done a resume. I do my weekly shop with her. Just having the support of someone makes a huge, huge difference.
But now that we have, help through the NDIS, it's just taken a tremendous amount of pressure off me. A support worker comes in 3 days a week, and we also have given Daniel some chores to do around the house, and just simple things like emptying the dishwasher, empty the recycling, making his bed, wiping his toilet over, and just helping him with cooking skills. And then he also has a young guy that comes in and takes him out for social interaction. So they go 10-pin bowling, to the movies. So, he's getting out in the community and having contact with other people other than just myself. I believe that if we didn't have the funding from the NDIS, that Daniel will probably be still sitting on the lounge watching Jurassic Park.
I think I'm much weller because of it. I have to tell you that I have never, ever felt so steady and so supported as I have in this last year. Without the support, I ended up homeless. That's the basic bottom line.
I'm actually, for the first time, feel a little bit of hope, especially having the occupational therapists come in and do some work with Daniel. I really kind of feel we're starting to making some leaps and bounds now, and it's really quite exciting.
The NDIS has the possibility that people can actually get the individualised support they need to do the things they want to do. Just because someone sits there like this, don't you believe that they don't have a dream for their life? They do. I would love a relationship. I would love to, what I'd love to do? I'd like to do a PhD on peer work. That's what I would really love to do. We'll just take little baby steps and getting a resume together, applying, just little bits at a time.